morning, everyone. My name is Jasmine Jennings, and I attend the University of North Carolina School of Law. I'm a second-year student there. I also have the honor and the privilege of serving as the president of our Black Law Student Association. My journey to law school was also a very interesting one. There were often times when I didn't want to study for the LSAT, when I didn't want to take that rigorous class that we've talked about, where the reading and the writing seemed too burdensome as a senior, as a junior in college. But through that, I persevered. I relied on my faith and my family and my friends to get me through, and I'm very thankful and honored to be before you all today. To that end, I have the honor this morning of introducing one of our keynote speakers, Mr. Mark A. Dunham. He is a member of the National Black Law Student Association. He is actually the national chair, and he attends American University in DC. He's a fourth-year law student, and we are very excited to hear from him today. So without further ado, Mr. Mark A. Dunham.
Good morning. Oh, I think we can do better than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. To Ms. Mitchell, to Chancellor Martin, Your Honor, we'll hear from you later this evening, to the members of the bar, and to the presidents of the Black Law Students Association chapters, and to all of this black excellence in this room today, I bring you greetings from the national and regional executive boards of the National Black Law Students Association. So when they asked me to speak, I asked my board, what should I tell them? What should we say to pre-law students and our law students and to the members of the bar? So what I'll do this morning is lean back on what I know, which is coming from Tennessee and growing up around church all my life, is to tell you a little story. And I promise, as all the preachers I grew up with used to say, I won't be before you long. So a little bit about start the clock. A little bit about the National Black Law Students Association, founded in 1968 at the campus of New York University School of Law by Algernon J. Cooper. Him and 6 other individuals decided that, originally called the Black American Law Students Association, that there needed to be an organization that spoke to us, for us, and looked at bringing together law students so as that we could commune together and survive and thrive together in the law school environment. And our mission is to increase the number of culturally responsible black and minority attorneys who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. If I were to give a topic or a subject of what I'm about to say, is that there is nothing more important than persistence and purpose. So what I would tell you today from all the black law students everywhere, and I did not have the honor and privilege of attending an HBCU, but what I would tell you today, that first I would decree and declare that all of you have the ability, the drive, and everything possible and everything needed to survive, thrive, be admitted, pass the bar, graduate, all of those things. There is nothing that sets you apart from anyone else, that makes you less than anyone else. And I want you to understand that now, because there are going to be people that tell you that you can't. There are going to be people that tell you that you won't, or even if you do, you won't get into where anyone else will be. You won't get into that law firm. You won't get into that judicial clerkship. You won't get into that in-house counsel position, because we already have the right qualified people for that. And that's a code word that we all know for somebody that doesn't look like you. It hails back to my own story, because when I was graduating from the American University in 2012, they said the same things to me. And if you were to look at my story, they'd be right. And I have no problem, I don't have a sad story to tell you, because when I graduated from American University in 2012, I was staring at a 153 LSAT score, but a 2.59 GPA. I did too much all the time, with too many leadership positions, but not enough school. And they told me in the admissions office, all of them looked at me dead in my face and said, "What law school? Houseway. Before sway was a thing, they were telling that to me. And I went back home briefly, and they said, and I talked to my parents, and my parents said, they looked at my scores, and after they fussed me out for what have you been doing for 4 years, they said, we taught you 2 things. One, since when have you forgot how to persist and how to persevere? And 2, you've been given a purpose to go to law school. So the first thing I did was persist. I applied to the schools I wanted to go to with the resume that I had. Using Mr. Walden's experience, his particular notes was to use what you've got and to do what you can with what you've got. And that's what I did. And it was exactly as I thought it would be. As Madam President stated, there was rejection, a whole lot of it. I kept the letters because I wanted to remember today as a 4th year where I came from. But with every rejection, I said, I'm going to persist because I've been given a purpose. I'm going to persist because I know I'm supposed to be there. I don't care what they're telling me, I'm supposed to be there. And one day on February 7th, 2013, I was admitted. So, and you'll never forget that day, because you'll be able to, I ran through the halls of my job talking about, they're like, Mark, what's wrong with you? And I said, I was admitted to law school, and they're like, okay, but they didn't know. So there's a difference between, it's not just okay to persist. You have to remember that there's a purpose, because as many of the people said, you will get into law school and it will get hard. As thousands of law students who are members of NABALSA can tell you, it is not built for us. It was not built for us, and the process and the atmosphere can literally attack you from every side. But I'm telling you today, and I'm telling you on behalf of thousands of law student members and officers across the nation, that you have a purpose and you belong in law school. And that even when the tests get hard and someone cold calls you and you know you haven't read the night before, you belong there. Even when that essay asks you to tell the professor everything you knew about contracts, and you're like, what? You belong there. Even when you get rejected from internship after internship and you don't know what you're going to do at the end of 3L, you belong there. And because you belong there, and because you've been given a purpose, you will succeed. You will come out the other end with where you're supposed to be. So what does that mean for me? Why am I telling you this story? Why am I saying you should persist because you have a purpose? Because I am a living testimony of that. I stand before you today coming from a 2.59 coming out of undergrad to a 3.52 at the end of my 4th year. I'm coming from no prospects for law school to being employed at a firm in New York at the end of 2018. I am telling you that it is possible. I am telling you that you've been purposed to do it. And on behalf of the National Black Law Students Association, I am telling you that you have a purpose, you belong in law school, and I urge you to persist. I urge you to take this step, to take this conference as one of the first of many steps that you will be taking on your way, not just getting into law school, not just getting into class, but to see yourself crossing the stage degree in hand, to see yourself walking into that firm, that judicial office, that in-house experience. Persist. You have a purpose. You belong there. And NABALSA cannot wait to welcome you as members, as law student members, and to see you as alumni. So thank you very much.